the voter for granted. Results in Baba, William Biden, so that makes it quite a very dangerous phenomenon for the politicians.
Mm-hmm.
But for the Ghanaian public, it's very good. Since when after the government of the day, with enough MPs to pass one yama, so in your parliament, in the NPP will never reduce the levy from 1.75 to 1.5.
Yeah.
In an attempt to try and get it passed. So clearly, the hung parliament has got some benefit. 2024, NPP will without Akufo-Addo. So they will be elected like new flag bearer. NDC, would they still take Mahama? If they will not take Mahama, who? Will there be feedback? Because in the aftermath of Mahama winning, after most deaths, he had tried to create his own faction. So there were Rollins faction, there were Moore's faction. And in his attempt to create his own faction, he stepped on the toes of CD members of these two existing factions. Well, moving on, and the base of the party was energized by the way and manner the party performed, especially in the parliamentary. As for the presidential, there, 540,000 is a lot of votes. And it's mainly because John Mahama did not, I repeat, did not give a focused view on free exercise. And many people felt that the sober.
Say on Asempa FM.
When you have so big, what can you swinger on 2 months, one party, the MP, not 2 months, another party, the presidential candidate. I say not by election or
Mm-hmm.
Given the hang nature of the parliament, one, it is important. But I think not in 2020 had about 40,000 registered voters. There was a voter turnout of over 80%. And the NDC won the seat with 2,705 votes. Akufo-Addo won the presidential in the constituency with about 54%. So it tells you that it's a very fluid constituency. NDC can play 2 games. It is they are waiting for the substantive ruling. So, they may decide that they will appeal, or they may decide that will appeal. So if the seat is declared vacant, they may decide to present questions. Bearing in mind the question Attorney General of the one start
criminal proceedings, yes. Yes.
And you are innocent in proving.
Absolutely.
So question Kobioma, with the likelihood of sympathy votes, he could take the seat again for the NDC, maintain the NDC's 1 seat, and then criminal agents will lose that. They can appeal to appeal court and move it on to Supreme Court. The MPP winner, they are going to use this as a form of their own. And Kofusi Yada, Yajin will see. The NDC retain seats, it will not be that much of a news, but they would have retained their numbers in Parliament.
Okay, so Assam North is critical, but Akade if the NDC should maintain Jachikweisen, or a likely that through sympathy vote, he can still maintain that seat for the NDC. Meaning that once he comes on the ballot, the NPP should forget that seat, right?
So don't forget, as an incumbent government, I must also add, to refer to the NPP, in the run-up to 2020, there was a division in the party as to who should be the candidate.
Okay.
And that also would have affected it. And as a party in government, they will do their utmost to try and snag the seat. So they shouldn't forget. But if they maintain question, NPP winning in Obed and Kakasen without question, if NPP take somebody else.
Back to the presidential. I know that while you work on your 7th book, as you said, one regular polls are one year across the country to gauge the expectations and feedback from Ghanaians, or yada okoda warrior. Are you getting results in line with what we've seen in the EIU report? For example, the EIU Trema one baseline survey there in 2024, the NPP are likely to lose the elections, and will cite challenges with the economy, corruption, infrastructure, and all of those. In the honor year, one baseline that were established. And number two, so what say, for the NDC to win, they would have to revitalize their front as a political party. Some have said that means they would have to go into the election without John Dramani Mahama. Do you share these opinions, Mpocho?
I think that with 2.5 years to voting, from my experience in polling in Ghana, it's a long way. You can do if elections were held down research. That will give you a fair idea. A year to elections, it will give you a good litmus test, because election year, if you want to pick Mubra, both of them about 2 days. The election year political gymnastics, it doesn't have a lot of effect.
Yeah.
But Juma year, clearly, I mean, the E-levy, for example, around the airport, some of the NDC people, they are the loss. In the sense that the NDCs are doing it. That argument I've been making, I've got some of it from the web to be doing. The church are doing it. No one person. And the NDC express the displeasure and anger for your electoral team. But perhaps the NDC is not seeing there. So when you're left now, perhaps the NPP government's last chance, the IMF. Because IMF, I understand their first recommendations cap is in between now and a year's time, the NPP government will have some leeway through the door to be able, like creation of employment, people seeing infrastructure, stabilizing the economy. For the NDC, they did well in the parliamentary. Now, Mahama has stepped on toes. He has to go around, try and make amends. Selection of parliamentary candidates is going to be an issue. And then he has to decide whether to pick a new running mate or maintain their old running mate. These are issues that over the next year, the NDC will have it on their plate moving forward to 2024.
But Eshemu Pada, Mahama will definitely win the flag bearership contest in the NDC, right?
If it is being held this April, yes. If it is being held in a year's time, I don't know.
Really?
Yes.
The NDC internal election are make home.
The NDC grassroots are looking for victory. And if between now and a year's time, they sense the work for Mahama, there will be apathy. One fana things will be better off, or the work will be. They will do it. But if the NDC flag bearership race is held this April, you can say, a year's time, I can't say they will win.
In the earlier it's held, the better for John Mahama, right?
Yes, but I doubt whether they can hold it less than 10 months, because you have to go to the constituencies, revitalize it, or there are a lot of interaction that needs to be done between the hierarchy, because the most painful thing for a political party is when your base, your stronghold, do not come out to vote. So Wamba out apathy setting, giving our +1 to decide winners, it's like also about my opponent. It's our back at the 2020 is a done dealing. No, that
2024, you mean?
Sorry, 2024 is a done dealing. No, they that
But don't you also think on the other leg of the survey report, don't you also think there genuinely based on complaints Ghana for Brenari complain, the Chroma show, Chroma then all of those have had reflection in the report of the EIU. Ain't really the Ghanaian people another majority now you want agenda that them a report now Canada the NPP will definitely lose 2024.
If this report had come by the August next year, I would take it as fully true. Given my experience of polling in Ghana, you know why for 5 years. Given my experience of polling in Ghana, 15 months to election, 12 months to elections, in your BBR, you are likely to go wrong. But 2 years, a little over 2 years, in the same way I asked 1.5 years, in the same way, 1.5 months will be enough for people to change their mind. So if it was like August, September 2023, I'll buy into it.
Okay. In a meaning that the MPP will now have to focus and do the job, and then based on that, they can now present the result to the Ghanaian people, right?
You don't have to present it. The Ghanaian people will feel it in their pocket. They feel it in their daily lives. My brother, Abuari Kawa, you know about that there. Hey, Abuan Wakawa. One about Abuan
But again, I mean, the NPP definitely will have a new face on the ballot. The NDC, if they should stick with John Mahama, would have a known face who's contested about 2 elections already on the ballot. On Sisa Dynamics Nekakra.
This is a double-edged way of looking at it. If Nkofukra out, Kotoma NDC to recover about 28, 30 seats, and Mahama lost as heavily as 540,000 votes. It tells you that when I want to happen, they had a major problem. One of them here, the attitude towards on there are people in NDC the NDC they when you are 30% in Ashanti, when you are 42% in Eastern regions, these are 2 strongholds of the NPP. They win the general election. When NDC suffers from lack of voting. There's apathy in their stronghold like water region. Definitely it will affect you. And you need to bear in mind there the dynamics in the central region. NDC winning most of the seats back. But the presidential Akufo-Addo will win. You see, this is how you need to look at it. The Ghanaian voter, a third day swinging, they become very smart. They can go vote for the parliamentary for Party A and vote Party B presidential. Clearly, for example, the Bamia win flag bearership slot tonight. He doesn't have a choice. His running mate will have to come from Ashanti region. So Alan Winner, he has to pick a northerner who is a Muslim. Mahama was lucky 2020 or became Christian as a running mate.
Yeah.
I mean, you know that it's no secret that the NDC would wish that Alan wins. It will be kind of easier for them than Bawumia.
It will be easy for the NDC to win against Alan than Bawumia?
Yes.
Really? Based on?
It's only book about table.
Bibia or book, Nima?
No.
Specifically on that flag bearership race in the 1 year specific poll on that.
We've almost finished because we had to wait for the polling station elections. We've almost finished. You know, we've been doing the names that have been coming up.
Yeah.
And we've been doing it since a bit, the names they will contest against in others. Now we have to wait for the polling station elections to be done. So we are doing the final one now, regards to who will win.
And on Asempa FM.
So
interesting.
Interesting. Interesting there. Obey too close. Another nipa who win and obey buim heavy gap.
Obi Bottom win first round. So Obi Bottom will race in the shot and hear your book or run off. Mama can you for now.
Now some there. The NDC would wish they had.
That's what I mean. If I'm talking about the NPP flag bearership in America.
Yeah, I get it. And I make a there.
Yes.
So Aka earlier there, the NDC would wish they have Alan Tremanti because it will be easy for them to win against him than Bawumia.
Yes.
Is that not reflecting in the polls? Our area there, the NPP for Nankasa also said there. Okay, then let's go with Bawumia. Is that not reflecting?
Mine 48 years old. You can't trick me out of it.
Oh.
Macha fine.
Okay, my final question. On the
Yes,
running mate point for the NDC, a kind there, whether JM would go with Professor Jenan Opukwajeman or will go with a different person. Extra crystal ball, Nima, what are you saying?
I'm sure the NDC, they've conducted their own research on what happened. They are doing research on what they should expect. I think that they need to take a running mate who would appeal to swing voters. They need to take a running mate who will bring more votes on board. And there must be the compatibility between the candidate, given Carol is Wasserman. If two people they all meet the various criteria, the final decision will be the two of them who's more compatible with the flag bearer who will be chosen.
Wow, that's really interesting. But if John Mahama should stick with Professor. You will not be surprised, Moboa.
Okay.
Say JM or win flag bearership, no? Now or stick with Professor Jena no Pokwa Jemana. You will not be surprised. On your mama. Oh, Dema.
No.
And who reason the abade?
Oh, you see, Ghana phone pay reading. The fact that Upper Fancy does not presume the benefit of Mongo. When Kofor beat most in Central in 2000, I was very 2000 and 2004. I was very surprised. I did work and published it in one of my books. And the main reason was that they were tired of rolling. National Moses Center for consulting day and night. 2008, when Moses beat Akufo-Addo in Central region, was so fancy. I had a good laugh. Some Akufo beat Moses in the most. No, I am not now. I think it was still a funky. First one bit for most was that most take down the rolling stone of a running mate. We going for one chances. But in always got the most fun running mate. Most fun, not for Mahama. And that's for the people of Central region when it leaked out. Also, young with the late for the name Mosen on I and that was it. So this is a typical example of people voting against not voting for a fancy. So those who said that, Nana lost to Moose because Moose was a fancy in 2018. Most ethnicity had not changed in 2000 and 2004 when he lost. So moving forward, NDC will have to pick a running mate to show up their vote where they lost out, and then what the person will bring on board. So far, there are about, apart from Bob Nana, there are about 6 or so people whose names have come up over time.
Only
I'm sure
about names in
Alex Snow, Wadaku, Sylvester Mensa, Amabua, Opon Fuchu, we're about 6.
And Julius Debra.
No, until these 6 names have been floating around. There could be somebody else out, well, possibly. But the NDC said in Murphy, what he will add, what happened in 2020, and what they need to, because you see, one of Mahama's problems, these 6, they are all young people, relatively young people, who would want beyond Mahama to contest in 2028. So it could be possible there, the Mahama for one of them. The other thing that what if our day, Mahama winner, or then Pakun head start 2028. So Mahama may perhaps have to look out of these no respect, pick somebody else, perhaps a technocrat or somebody else. All the 6 will want to support for him.
On Asempa FM.
There are a lot of ifs and ifs. I'm sure the NDC when some American they know.
Okay. Yo, Uncle Ben, my youngest and fancy. We'll come back to you again, and then we'll talk about your subsequent works, especially book launch. No, aye. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it, Panya Mishra. And Ben Ephson, a pollster and managing editor of the Daily Dispatch newspaper. Ekosi saying, "High Asempa 94.6."